Section 8 properties and their pros and cons. So for those who are actually not familiar with the concept of Section 8, it is a government assistance plan that is given to families that are of low income and also to the elderly. So unfortunately, Section 8 over the years have gotten a really negative connotation. Tenants who are not the best quality of tenants, meaning, oh, well, they're gonna, if you rent it out to Section 8 families, they're going to destroy your place. You're gonna have to keep up with the maintenance and stuff like that. And that's in fact not true. Think of it this way. It's always easier to complain than to share good news. I don't know what is it about human nature, but people tend to do that very often. If something great happens, then we're caught up in the moment enjoying the happiness. But in the minute we feel some level of pain, it's a lot easier to share that pain rather than keep it within ourselves. So it's the same thing with Section 8. I have Section 8 properties myself in Alabama, and they're not all bad. I think the key is doing the best you can to get the good tenants. So by that I mean proper background check, a criminal background, and then sometimes it can take a couple of months to wait for the right one to come. And unfortunately, some investors, myself included sometimes, we feel the pressure of having a mortgage to pay and having some other responsibilities, financial responsibilities that we need to take care of. So we tend to rush into the decision making and we overlook certain things, like maybe some red flags that come up along the way when you were doing the background check, but because you're so desperate and renting out the property and you have this family here saying, well, I'm going to give you 4 or 5 months worth of deposit. Well, every time somebody offers you that much money for a deposit, then you have to ask yourself, what's the reason? Why is this person in such a rush to move in? Maybe it's a legitimate reason, but you should always look into that. So in my experience, when you do the proper due diligence to get the right family that matches all of your selection criteria in terms of qualifications, then they're typically good families. So that's one. And then two, Section 8 rentals are meant for people that are stickler for rules. So if you are more of like a free spirit person, you don't like to abide by certain rules and you would like to do everything your way, then Section 8 is definitely not the right investment for you, because you have to abide by certain government guidelines, because you are asking the government for their money. They are giving you their money to your rental so you can do business. So the good things about Section 8 rentals is that you're always going to get your money secure every month, because it is the government. Once you make it into the system, it's guaranteed money that's coming your way. So the way it works is that it depends on the financial income of the family. So let's say, for example, some families will qualify for maybe 30% or 40% or 50% government assistance. So it all depends on the family. So what you do is that you receive one chunk from the government, from Section 8 in this case, and the other chunk of rent that you'll be receiving will be from the tenant himself or herself. And that's how Section 8 works. And then you have to meet their criteria. They have certain guidelines, and where they say, well, the windows have to have this, and then the walls have to have this, and you have to meet certain codes in terms of fire alarms and safety regulations and stuff like that. So unless you can meet those and you can meet them by the rule, then do not even bother, because Section 8, it's not going to bend over backwards for you. There is a lot of demand. These are people who are overworked, and they still have a lot in their queues in terms of families who are in need of assistance for house. One good news about Section 8 is that they are in high demand. There's not enough supply in the market for Section 8 families. So if that's something you would like to get yourself into, do the proper due diligence, work with a property manager who is highly experienced in the subject, so that it could bring your property up to speed and up to code, so that way you don't have to deal with any issues from the government. They will check on you from time to time just to make sure that you're keeping your word in terms of maintenance and upkeep. But other than that, if you don't think that's something you can meet, then forget about it. Just go about your own way and do your regular rentals the way you will prefer to do so. So hopefully that helps out.